Today we are exploring the last 4 lighthouses on Nantucket: Sankaty Head Lighthouse, Brandt Point Lighthouse, Old Brandt Point Lighthouse, and the Nantucket Cliff Range Lights. All of them are easy to reach from downtown and will add a little extra spark to your island visit. So if you are looking for simple ways to elevate your Nantucket trip without having to rent a car, these stops are perfect for you. So let's get started. Our first stop is Sankaty Head Light in Sconset, perched high above the Atlantic and the only original lighthouse still standing in Nantucket. The Nantucket Regional Transit Authority offers a free island-wide bus service, so getting to Sconset is very simple. Sankaty is only open twice a year for climbing, so you'll want to check those dates as you're planning your trip. My visit didn't line up with the open lighthouse days, so this was an exterior-only stop for me. If this is your first time on Nantucket and you're looking for a hassle-free way to see some of the historic sites around the island, the signature Nantucket bus tour is a good option. It gives you an easy overview of some of the historic sites without you having to figure out how to navigate these sites on your own. Before boarding the bus, I did grab lunch at Straight Wharf Fish. YouTube has some really good reviews on their lobster roll. So, this is the lobster roll from Straight Wharf Fish. It was expensive, and I'm not sure it's actually worth it, but we will see. The lobster roll is actually pretty good. It actually has some kind of seasoning on it. These chips are stale. The lobster is good though. For me, it still didn't beat the one at Chatham Pier Fish Market. On the tour, we passed the oldest house on Nantucket. We passed the old mill, which was currently under renovation, and the charming Sconset cottages. The Sankaty Head Lighthouse was definitely the highlight. The lighthouse was first lit in 1850 and automated in 1965. The tower stands 70 feet tall and rises 158 feet above sea level. The current beacon produces a white flash every 7.5 seconds and is visible up to 25 nautical miles. In 2007, the lighthouse was moved 405 feet inland to protect it from severe erosion. Today, this lighthouse remains an active aid to navigation. The Sconset Trust owns the lighthouse, while the U.S. Coast Guard manages the light. As you can see, the signature Nantucket bus tour does not take you close to the tower. If you want better access and better pictures, you may want to visit the lighthouse on your own and take the scenic 1.5-mile bluff walk from Sconset to the lighthouse. I'm told it gives you incredible coastal views, and you have the reward of getting up close and personal with this lighthouse. I am definitely planning to return in June for the next open lighthouse day, because I am looking forward to climbing this lighthouse. Here are just a few additional pictures from the tour. Once the tour finished, the bus dropped us back downtown. From there, it was an easy 15-minute walk to Brandt Point Lighthouse. This is a great add-on if you're already exploring the waterfront or the nearby downtown beaches. The Brandt Point Light Station was originally established in 1746 to guide vessels safely into Nantucket Harbor. On my walk, I passed the old Brandt Point Light and the Nantucket Harbor Range Lights. Both are located on the Coast Guard station. Old Brandt Point was deactivated in 1900 when the 9th light was constructed at Brandt Point. The current lighthouse is classic New England, a small, beautiful white tower welcoming every ferry that arrives in Nantucket. Built in 1901, it's the 10th version to stand here. Today, the modern optic displays a red light eclipsed every 4 seconds and is visible up to 10 miles. Maintenance crews were working the day that I visited, so my shots were limited, but it was still worth the walk, especially if you're looking for a lighthouse that's easy to reach without a tour. If you're short on time and don't want to venture too far from downtown, Brandt Point is an easy location to visit 2 lighthouses on Nantucket. No transportation or tickets are required. It's a short walk with great views of the harbor and Brandt Point Beach. From Brandt Point, you can walk another 15 minutes or so to the Nantucket Cliff Range Lights. These lights were discontinued in 1912, and the towers are located on private property. I stayed along the street and took a few pictures from public areas. I always try to be respectful when the lighthouse sits on someone's private land. A fun fact, these towers are owned by the Gilbreth family, the authors of Cheaper by the Dozen. I loved reading that book about a family of 12 children when I was growing up. So this isn't a lighthouse that you can climb, but it is a pleasant walk. And you're not too far from Jetty's Beach, which is a very popular beach on Nantucket. If you want to make the most of this walk, combining it with a trip to Jetty's Beach is the perfect combination. Before catching the ferry back, I stopped at the Juice Bar, which is a very popular ice cream shop on Nantucket. Since the line wasn't too long, which is rare, I treated myself to some ice cream. I also stopped at Nantucket Crisp to pick up a few local items. And yes, everything survived the ferry ride back. Without the fog bank that greeted us that morning, I was able to get clearer shots of Nantucket Harbor and the Brandt Point Lighthouse as we sailed out. If you're taking the Hyannis ferry to or from Nantucket, be on the lookout for a few bonus lighthouses. As you near Hyannis, you will see Point Gammon, Bishop and Clerks, and the Lewis Bay Lighthouse, also known as the Hyannis Harbor Light. All 3 of these lighthouses are inactive, but they're still fun to see from the ferry. We arrived back in Hyannis. The line for the shuttle to get to the off-site parking was long, so I just decided to walk. The area around the harbor had a lot of restaurants and shops, but they can get crowded depending on the time of the day, especially if the ferry just came in. So you want to take that into consideration. I actually ended up stopping in Spanky's Clam Shack for dinner. Their classic Mayo-style lobster roll was really good, but it didn't compare to the lobster roll I had at Chatham Pier. That one is still my winner. So that wraps up our trip to Nantucket. We saw 4 lighthouses, plus we had 3 bonus lighthouses on our way back to Hyannis. If you are planning a trip to Nantucket, these are just a few easy ways to elevate your visit without having to rent a car or book a whole lot of tours. I'm already planning to return to climb Sankaty Head Lighthouse. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I truly appreciate you all tuning in each week to support this channel. Up next, we are headed to Martha's Vineyard to see a couple more coastal lights. And until then, I will see you at the light.